Finally done it. I finally collected all the live action Batmans in statue form. Of course, Clooney's not here, but that movie was horrible. But he was in more movies than Kilmer, you know, because he was in The Flash. Okay, shit. And West isn't here. Who'd want an Adam West statue? I kind of would. Hey, my name is Mr. X. Welcome to the Extreme Channel. We are giving away $1,000 statues to you guys. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. So this is technically an Extrumble or an Extreme Rumble where we compare and contrast different statues. So obviously these are all real actors that played the Caped Crusader. They played Bruce Wayne within the Batman films or the DC universe. These are all 1/3 scale. And I've done individual videos on every single one. We'll go through some of those as we do this Extreme Rumble. But instead of just comparing which one is better, because there's a lot of dichotomy and contrast, I don't even know what dichotomy means, but I think there's some in here, and it's hard to compare one actor from a 1989 movie to another actor in the 21st century. So we're not only going to compare some of the basic stuff like we do, like bases, but we're going to talk about who has the best cowled head, who has the best unmasked portrait, who played the best Bruce Wayne, who played the best Batman, which movie series was the best, because there's a lot of controversy around that. If you're like me, you grew up with Michael Keaton, 1989 Batman. I've said it a million times on my channel. I remember seeing that in the theater. They oversold the seats. We had to sit on the stairs and watch it. And he was my Batman for a long ass time. Then Val Kilmer came along, and I don't know what the hell that was for. I just watched it for Nicole Kidman. Followed by the Christian Bale Dark Knight movies, which were amazing. I have to admit that. And again, I skipped over Clooney. And then again, we had Batfleck, who really brought this vigilante, tough-ass aspect to him. And of course, Pattinson, who, hold on to that, I'll share my opinion with you later. Which is where I want to start. I'm going to rank these in every single category, starting with what I think is the best film. And I'm going to be specific. If they were in multiple films, I'm going to pick what was their best film. So this isn't necessarily tied to the actor who played Batman, but it's of all 5 of these, and the 10 or so films they were in, which was the best. So I think it's pretty obvious to me the worst one was Batman Forever with Val Kilmer. So that comes in at number 5. Getting a little more difficult, I think, number 4 is going to be the Snyder Cut Justice League with Batfleck. And I think that's the best of his movies as Batman. And that leaves the 3 in front. This is where it's going to get controversial. I'm going to go 89 Batman as number 3, barely. Because I know this is going to shock people. I love the Pattinson movie. I love the realistic take. I loved how raw Batman was. I loved how he was a detective. I loved the elaborate storyline. But I think we can all admit that The Dark Knight, the second installment of the Christian Bale movies, was the best. Not just because of Heath Ledger, but again, multiple layers. So that comes in at number 1. Which one played the best Bruce Wayne? Let's rank them as well. And they took a few different takes. He was always kind of dark. Some took it over the edge. Starting with the worst Bruce Wayne, in my opinion, was actually Pattinson. Did not like that emo, I'm so to myself, definitely on antidepressants, Bruce Wayne that Pattinson played. And while I think he did a good job playing it, it was more the writing than him, but he comes in at number 5. Regarding Bruce Wayne, 4 was Affleck. I was just not a fan. He did not feel like a Bruce Wayne to me. We're going to rank the Batmans in a moment, and that's a little bit different, but not a favorite of mine when it comes to Bruce Wayne. 3 was Kilmer. Pretty close. I think these two could be interchangeable. There's not a lot of good stuff about Batman Forever other than the star-studded cast. Then 2, I picked Keaton, and I picked him for a few reasons. I think he played both aspects of Bruce Wayne. He was kind of a loner, but he was also a show-off. But to me, the best Bruce Wayne, once again, was Christian Bale. I really like how he encompassed the character, and you saw the struggles that he was going through. I think it was a great part of the storyline. But in my opinion, he was not the best Batman. So regarding the best Batman, again, number 5, Kilmer. Kilmer was just a horrible Batman. And again, maybe it was the writing. I do like Val Kilmer as an actor. I loved him in Willow. Loved him in Top Gun. Regarding Batman, obviously when it came out in '89, I would have thought Keaton was one of the best. But he comes in at number 4 in this bunch. He was a pretty weak Batman. Very basic toys. wasn't that intimidating other than the fact it was the first time we saw him on the big screen. Then I'm going to pick Bale, and I really like Bale because that's finally when we started seeing some of those martial arts and a lot of the additional weapons or tricks that Batman actually utilized. 2 was the raw power of Pattinson. I like how it was so realistic. It wasn't far-fetched. He would beat people with his hands. His car was awesome. By the way, we are going to rank the Batmobiles in a second, but he comes in at number 2. But the number 1 to me was the Vigilante Batfleck. Loved it in Batman vs. Superman, Snyder Cut Justice League, the warehouse scene, how strong and tough this dude was. To me, that was the real Batman. Let's jump into the Batmobiles. So this one was tough because there's a huge technological difference between 20 years. And it all depends on your interpretation. Do you want the Batmobile as a tank, or do you want it as a sleek car, or do you want it something realistic? But I'd have to go, once again, number 5, Batman Forever Batmobile. I thought was absolutely horrible. Hated every second of it. Then I throw in Ben Affleck's Batmobile. It was cool, don't get me wrong. I didn't hate it like I did the Batman Forever, but I would put that in as number 4. Number 3 is Pattinson, because I like actual muscle cars and I like the integration they did with it. The Tumbler with Bale was number 2. What really took away from that to me is that the fact that there were other ones out there. And of course, I don't think anything beats the original 89 Batmobile in my opinion. I put that at number 1. Now I want to talk about the actual statues for a bit. And I'm going to rank 4 things. I'm going to rank the bases, the cowled portraits, the uncowled portraits, which you don't see right now, but we'll see in a second. And then which statue is the best if you combine everything we just talked about. Let's start with the bases. Starting at number 5 is the Batfleck one. You know, this was meant to match an entire line of Justice League from Prime 1 Studio. I originally reviewed it a long time ago, and some of the other pieces you can check out right here. But to me, this is the weakest base, comes in at number 5. Number 4 is the Keaton. So, museum-style base, pretty simple. I do like some of the stuff they did, so it's not too boring. Number 3 is Batman Forever, because it's a full-on Batcave. There's some cool symbols on it. Just like the Batfleck one, you can go watch the original review. This one is also made by Prime 1 Studio, just like the Batfleck. Is the Queen Studios Christian Bale Batman. Now with this base, there was actually an additional base I bought that could also fit the Joker that's meant to match with this. And then first is, to me, the Prime 1 Studios Pattinson base. Again, made by Prime 1 Studio. You can check out the original video review right here. However, this base looks awesome. It's a mix of the Batmobile. It has a light up feature. It's great conceptually. It has some of the Easter eggs from the movie. Definitely the best in my opinion. Another category I actually forgot about, best suit in regards to these statues. So part of it is the sculpt, part of it is the actual design of the suit from the movie. But coming in at number 5 is the Kilmer. Again, it has nipples. Looks really ceramic as well. I think that's a big miss. Because ironically, this suit was very close to the Keaton suit, which is my number 4. So again, doesn't have the nipples, has a little bit more body armor, and the sculpt on this custom statue I think is a lot better. You can check out my original review of it right here. Then I'm going to go to Bale. Now I think in the movies, Bale's costume was a little bit better. However, this statue from Queen Studios didn't represent it well in my opinion. And again, if you want to go look at some detailed video of this, check out my original video review of it right here. Number 2, I got to give to the Pattinson. So for a lot of different reasons, I like the take on it from the movie. Prime 1 had a lot of cool armored layer stuff, including the utility belt on it. That comes in at number 2. But I think number 1, because of the movie design and the way Prime 1 pulled it off, is the Batfleck. This really armored one going to war. You know, remember, he was fighting Steppenwolf and all the creatures trying to stop Darkseid, and everybody else had superpowers but him, so his suit was essentially one of the best things he had. All right, so let's talk about the portraits. So it's a little complicated because all 5 of them have cowled portraits, only 3 of them have unmasked versions. And we're going to talk about best likeness specifically in those. So we'll do the cowled portraits first. Again, number 5 is the Kilmer. This does not look like Val Kilmer too much. It's kind of hard to see when you only see the mouth, but when you see some of the ones that beat him, you'll understand. Next to me is the Bale. I think Bale is a miss on this. I really don't like the cowled portrait on this Bale statue. I think Queen Studios missed on it. I think there's some competitors out there that are better, in my opinion. 3 is the Keaton, this custom Keaton. I think this looks pretty good. You can tell that it's Keaton, but it's not as good as the other 2. And we're going to look at the unmasked version of this in a second. Then we're going to go to Batfleck. I really see Ben Affleck in this. I think they did a very nice job, so it proves that you can show what he looks like with the cowl on. But none of them beat the Pattinson one. This looks like Robert Pattinson. It looks straight from the movie. I think Prime 1 killed it. In their defense, this is the newest one out there as well of the 3 from Prime 1. Regarding unmasked portraits, let's look at those. So the 2 in the back here, they do not have unmasked portraits, so they automatically get 5th place. Actually, let's give the Kilmer one 5th place just because we've been doing it all day long. Then we'll do 4 for Batfleck. But 3 to me is the Keaton one right here. Now the reason why it's number 3 is mostly the hair. And then a little bit of the pink lips, but I think it's very movie accurate and it's cool to have one for sure. Number 2 is the Christian Bale on the Queen Studios. This one actually comes with real hair. They had a few different options when you bought it. But I like this a lot. I think the likeness is very, very close. But once again, it doesn't compare to the number 1, which is the Pattinson. This looks just like him in the movie. I love what they did with the hair. Definitely the best, in my opinion, of these statues. So now it comes to which of these statues is the best. And I decided I'm going to judge them eliminating the movie. Let's throw the movie out and say, okay, which of these is the best overall? If you eliminate the movie and you eliminate the actor, you're just like, which is the coolest Batman statue? I'm going to have to go Queen Studios is number 5. I think Queen Studios is the worst one. Again, you take out the movie and the actor who did an amazing job in some amazing films. And then I would follow it up with the Val Kilmer, number 4. I think Val Kilmer would be number 5 if the base wasn't so cool. Then we're going to go to the custom Keaton. I think the pose does a really great job on this. Really love the pose. And if you're unfamiliar, again, and watch that original movie, that was directly from the movie. The top 2, I think, are the Batfleck and the Pattinson. I'm going to have to give number 2 to Batfleck right here. And as a side note, I used to own another version of Batfleck. This one from Prime 1 Studios as well had a very similar base. But to me, the best statue of these is the Pattinson for a few different reasons. 1, I think the likeness is spot on. 2, I love the armor. I love the base. I love all the accessories. Some of them you can take out. I think the cape is a higher quality. They really knocked it out of the park with the Pattinson. Knowing that I love the movie and I loved him as Batman, not Bruce Wayne, but Batman, that adds on to it after the fact. So did I get it right or wrong? Throw that down in the comments below. Also check out YouTube. I threw up a poll there yesterday, the day before this launches. But if you can't find that, again, you can throw it in a comment below which one you like best for what reason. Any of the rankings I talked about, because that comment could win you a statue. As we try to grow this channel, we like to reward you guys for watching and subscribing. So because of that, every 5,000 milestone when it comes to subscribers, we give away a couple $1,000s worth of statues. We've actually given away over 20 statues. To win one was easy. First, you gotta be subscribed to the channel. You'll get bell notifications when videos drop. Each video that drops, you wanna make a comment on those videos. We pick a random video, we give away statues based on a comment. You can say whatever you want. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Heads up, these are going to be up for sale in end of the month video, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm just moving in a different direction, but before I did, I wanted to film this video. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Take care.